Who's one of your worst enemies? This is fascinating for me. One of your worst enemies is yourself. I mean, who gives you the highest critique, the most poignant negative commentary? It's all that negative self-talk, and we're far more hard on ourselves than we are from an external force. So this talk is all about how do we overcome that self-sabotage. And the interesting thing about self-sabotage is it's deeply rooted in how we grew up as humans. In nature, when we were trying to fight, flight, survival kind of things, right? We had to, where's the saber-tooth tiger? Where's, this poison berry? Where's this change that I have no idea what's going to happen? Everything was out to kill us. We still have that buried within our genome, but now there's not really anything that's really going to kill us. I mean, barring freak accidents or stepping out in front of a car, we're pretty much safe. So what's interesting now is that all these things that were there are now being applied because our brain wants to be useful. So it's applying all these heuristics to all their modern things, except now these modern things aren't going to kill us. So what we have to do is kind of overcome those through some skill sets. So if we want to achieve success, we need to analyze what we are doing to ourselves first before we have to really overcome the external forces, because internal is far harder. So step one is to write down our negative beliefs. This may sound a little weird, and it's kind of hard because seeing what you're saying to yourself on paper is not easy. So bear with it, take some time, write them out. But here's the cool thing. Once they're written out, we can then start doing stuff with it, which we'll get to in step 3. Next to what you write down, write a negative 100 to 100, how strong negative the emotion is. You can write down positive ones too. We can use those later as well. But right now we're kind of focusing on which ones are the negatives. And number 2 is change your state. You can change your state through lots of different ways. One of the fastest and easiest is physical movement. When we exercise, you can get those endorphins up and going, makes you feel good. So for about 30 seconds, do some jumping jacks, make some silly noises, dance, wiggle. We do a lot of wiggling right now with all these babies. But you can really do anything. So anything that kind of just amps up your energy a little, great way. Put your favorite song on and sing with it, and do whatever the dance is with that song. It's another great way. So just anything that kind of raises your energy up. And number 3 is where we're going to start actually dealing with those negative thoughts that we wrote down in step 1. So let's say, I'm just going to use the phrase, I'm not good enough. That's a pretty common one. We can start tweaking that phrase. So every negative phrase that we write down has a nugget that we can actually grow into something beautiful. Because negative commentary is basically telling us where we need to grow and what we can do to fulfill that fear into something positive. So the phrase, I'm not good enough, can be changed. So there's usually 3 main categories. Protection, recognition, and attention. So if it's protection, we're looking to change it into a phrase, what are you trying to protect? So for example, if I protect myself by providing for my family. So that's a way of changing I'm not good enough into a protection statement. If it's recognition, I show myself love by succeeding in all my goals, giving yourself recognition. And then attention is I am as secure as I think I am. Now these aren't perfect phrases. These are not strong enough. So we need to refine them down, get to the core, simple, open-ended, and always in the positive. So one way we can change it is I am as secure as I think I am into I choose to be secure. Much more concise, a much stronger statement, open-ended. So you can keep refining it in using better and better verbiage to where you find that it really resonates with you, and that's when you know you kind of have it. So once you think you got to that phrase, we go to step 4, which is the whole reinforcement of that. This this can get kind of silly. So you might want to go to a private place in your house, or if you really just feel like going all in, you can do it in front of a crowd. But typically I practice this one kind of alone and where no one's looking at me. So one way is doing the power pose. If you've seen the movie Superman or Batman or any superhero movie, they've got this stance. And what that does is they've actually found that the physical affects the mental as much as the mental affects the physical. So by assuming a power position, superhero is examples, one of them, because it's archetypal to most cultures, or maybe like a stance of a queen or a stance of a king, it automatically preassumes that you are in that power, so therefore your body says, I'm in this power. And then once we say the phrase, it's reinforcing all of that together. So you're seeing it, you're hearing it, you're feeling it. And do this for at least 30 seconds. If it helps, ramp up some music that you absolutely love or something inspiring. And then notice how your physiology is changing, notice how your mental is changing, your breath is changing, and see what it is afterwards. Where is it now? Is it negative 100 to 100? You can go back into your notes and see where you were and then where you are now. And you can do this every single day. I would probably say at least a week, maybe 2 weeks, to really kind of get it set in. And you can always come back to it. It's really kind of based on where you are and how fast you change. Some people change really fast, some people change slow. So we leave the opportunity for fast, but everybody goes at their own pace. So I would say at least minimum of a week, though. Some people say habits form over a long period of time, but sometimes change can happen fast. If you'd like some help doing this with somebody else, I'd be happy to help. Reach out to me, send me a message, leave a comment, see how it goes, and we'll see you guys later. This one fell asleep on me. Ugh.